Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Lock Shop. It is Dusty with you. Tommy will be joining me a little bit later on. We are at Boston Pizza in St. Albert, the north location. There's two locations out here. We're at the north location. I was actually at this location. The Godfather just walked in. I was at this location when the Godfather had his second child, because you guys had Paterson right there. I remember Tammy and I drove back from Cranbrook, and we're waiting to see the baby. We sat out on the patio here and had some lunch. So St. Albert North location holds a place in my heart here. So yeah, pop on by and join us today. We got some stuff that we're going to give away here as well. We got some cups and stuff that they hooked us up with. We got a bunch of stuff here we're going to give away. So if you're in the St. Albert area today, come on by, pop in, and we'll be here. We got Lock Shop from 11 until 12, Oil Stream from 12 until 1. Come on in and check out their awesome summer menu. Absolutely kick-ass. And I know Huss will be pretty excited about that as well. Bronco Nick over in the chat says, Dusty's in my neck of the woods today. Too bad I'm at the office. Well, that's your mistake. I mean, I've been telling you for a few weeks that we were going to be here. Should have worked from home today, my man. Then you could have come on by. And I'm on the water because of that cough. And sometimes, you know, you have a cough and then you have like a beer or something that makes you cough a little bit more. But once we get to the oil stream, I might loosen it up a little bit. So, yeah, we are doing an inside show. We were talking about doing a patio show. But there's like a heat warning today. So we got here, and Jean, who's here, said, maybe we do it inside today. And Godfather walks in and goes, man, I'm glad we're inside today because it's too damn hot out there. So everybody knows my story. I'm like a 22-degree guy. That's not the case today. So I'm very happy being inside here. Great lounge at the Boston Pizza in St. Albert. So make plans to join us, St. Albert North, and we should have a lot to break down as we work our way through the show today. Huss is going to join us here right away. We'll get into that. We've got our EST special. It's already popped up. I've got a few player props today in the National Football League, and the amount of props that have popped up at Play Alberta for the NFL season is kind of insane. I was going through it a little bit today, but there just wasn't enough time. So we're going to dive into that a little bit later on as well. But yeah, if you can text us anytime, Big Uke just sent us the grandest today. Red Sox -1.5, Bellucci Alcaraz under 30.5 games, Rangers money line, and Georgie over 0.5 runs. So I'll send that over to the boys here right away as well. And hopefully we can get that up, get a number on it actually during the Lock Shop today. Our EST special from earlier today, we said, you know what, we're going to double down here on the Toronto Blue Jays, who completely pissed us off and disappointed us last night. That sucked the big one. Hoffman's a joke. But we are going to we're going to dive right back into it. Bounce back game coming for the Jays. And if they're going to bounce back and win here, I like them to bounce back by on the run line here, -1.5. So we've got Jays to win by 2 or more and to score first. That is +222. So you'll be able to find that over on the EST specials page. If you haven't used the code yet, it's EST Sports. Deposit $20 and get a $50 free bet over at Play Alberta. And you know what? Let me send this over here. We'll do it one more time. Let's see. Boosted, the grandest parlay we've got. I want to get this to them right away so they get it up. Red Sox -1.5. Bellucci versus Alcaraz under 30.5 games. You guys are killing me here. This is good stuff. And then Rangers money line and Springer over 0.5 runs. Bellucci, Alcaraz under, Red Sox. Okay, so that'll be sent over. That should probably pop up on the EST specials page in like less than 10 minutes for sure. So you'll be able to find that. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Corey B over on the inbox says, hey, I'm bringing my wife by today for our anniversary lunch. Oh, summer menu anniversary lunch. I like that. He says Curtis isn't there, is he? No, that's Curtis from the Westgate Boston Pizza, who at the Nasty Bash was dancing and fell on top of Corey B's wife. So hopefully she's recovered, but they're going to be popping by here a little bit later on as well. All right, let's get into it. Huss is ready to go. I can't wait to tell Huss about the pop culture reporter we had on this morning that says she likes the odds of a baby before the end of the next regular season, Huss.
Yes!
I knew you'd like that. I knew you'd like that, man. So we had Hannah Van Bibber on from The Athletic today. And she's, if you go follow her on Twitter, man, she's got a bunch of stuff on. And she actually does two things for The Athletic. She does like pop culture and sports. And then she actually does, she covers like the sports betting industry.
I know.
Yeah. You know her? You're familiar?
Well,
like,
he sent us that asking if we wanted her on. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Probably get down with that.
Yeah. So are you having her on too?
I'm not sure whether Reba set that up or not.
Yeah, because Greg emailed me yesterday. I was like, hey, do you want, and we had Stephen Brunt on today to talk CFL too. But anyway, emailed us, and I was just like, I replied to him. I said, you know what, man? I said, this is kind of I want it. Like, let's chat with her. She was great, by the way. And we talked about a lot of different things. And I did ask her at the end, I said, let's talk about this baby. Like, is it reasonable to think that she has a baby by the end of next regular season? She said she likes those odds, man. She says she likes them. She thinks they might already secretly be married.
Wow.
I know. What a twist. And if they're already secretly married, maybe she's already secretly pregnant.
That could be. If not, I'm sure they're working on it. But this, it was hilarious seeing how many likes are on this Instagram post. That was the other thing that I wish we could have bet on. Whether the
over under on likes on the Instagram post.
Will it be the most liked photo of all time on Instagram?
Oh, geez, it might be.
The previous one is Messi holding the World Cup trophy after they get it. They're at 30 million right now. So they have, I think it's 79, if I'm not mistaken, is the Messi one.
It's going to be a tough go, but they got a lot of time.
I mean, 30 million in 24 hours is big, although it will be, of course, the law of diminishing returns. Oh, these photos are lovely. Look at that ring.
Oh, Huss, what has happened to you, my man?
As you can see. Well, you know what? I got the jersey on. I'm ready.
Yeah, you got the Mahomes? You got the Mahomes there?
Yeah, I had an auction last night. Tonight is just the redraft, the straight up 12-team redraft league. I'm picking.
How'd auction league go? Is that a redraft auction league or is it a keeper auction?
This is how we do it. We auction all the players, and every player has, whatever they were auctioned off is their salary, and that is kept at, the draft results are kept at the beginning of the year. Okay. After the draft is done, the salaries don't mean anything as far as the regular season goes. They're all just roster spots. You can trade whoever you want. Everyone gets the $100 budget for free agents. At the end of every year, you can keep 3 players, and you keep them with, I believe we go 20% plus $1. So if you drafted a guy that was $10 to keep him, it would be $13. So it rewards you. I mean, if you get a couple good rookies at $5 and all of a sudden the guy turns into an absolute stud, you're keeping him, and you got a little bit more money to spend in the auction. So my keepers were Malik Neighbors. I think I had him. I paid $29 for him last year, so he's like around $35. I got Bucky Irving at the very end of the draft for $1, so he ended up being $3. That's one of those key guys that can be huge
that's
for
a big
you.
One.
And then I had Jaden Daniels for $7, so he's at $10. So I had like 3 really good players. Obviously, a lot of guys are kept, even if they're more expensive. I got a bunch of good younger rookies. I did, and this is somewhat a thing with auction strategy. I was sort of kicking myself later on in the draft for kind of cheaping out on a couple guys that I probably could have had the money to spend an extra $5, $6, $7 and get them, and I didn't. So now I'm looking at a team where on paper the roster isn't quite as good as a lot of others, like right now going into week 1. But I think there's the potential for me to have a ton of great trade bait, a lot of really good young players, and we'll go. Where are you on Travion Henderson?
I've drafted quite a bit of Travion Henderson so far, just because, like, and we'll see how it is when I get to some drafts this weekend. But I don't think, like, there's a hype train on him big time, And I don't think that is matched up to the average draft position just yet. I think by the time I do a draft next Tuesday, it very well might be. But for that reason, like I've been taking Travion Henderson in the 5th round, and I'm totally okay with taking him in the 5th round as my second.
I ended up buying him for $19, and just to put it into perspective, he went for 19. O'Marion Hampton went for 30. And then And then McCaffrey ended up going for 45. Jahmyr Gibbs went for 58. That was the huge bid fest.
58,
where guys
was
were
that
like,
the biggest number?
Yeah.
Is that the biggest number?
58 was definitely. Justin Jefferson went, I think, over 50. But there's a couple hardcore Vike fans that were just beating the hell out of each other last night looking for the looking for the Vikings, which is always fun. So anyways, the auction's good. And you know what? You would think that, oh my God, that's going to take forever. It was like 2 hours. 2 hours.
Really?
10-team league.
So it goes pretty quick,
guys. So I mean, it's all about your settings.
How often is it where, because I haven't done auction leagues, and you did this online, it wasn't in person?
Yeah, it's just on the ESPN.
Oh, okay. So how often does a guy just put like, I don't know, let me pick a name, like Jaden Reed, $1. Like, does that happen? Like, do guys get guys, or somebody goes, I'll take Chris Godwin, I know he's injured, but I'll do $3, and everybody's like, you can just have him for $3. Like, is that?
Oh yeah, like towards the end. I mean, especially like it's kind of funny. Like, okay, if you're in auctions, the best thing that can happen to you is have your guys still available and other guys use up their cash on other players. So like my strategy, when it's my turn to nominate a guy, I am always nominating someone that I don't really particularly want, but I know is going to get guys betting, and someone's going to bid, and it's going to sap up their bankroll. So like, for instance, last night, it was up to me. I already had Jaden Daniels. So I made a point of throwing out Lamar Jackson really early, knowing that he'd get bid up big time. Someone would jump on him and there'd be $20-25 less for that guy to have. As you get later on in the draft, when people don't have as much cash, you can sometimes slide guys through and get really, really good deals, to your point to the Jaden Reed. Like, I mean, if everyone has a bunch of receivers and he's kicking around and they go, oh, I don't mind that guy, but they don't have roster spots or money, the chances them going through and you getting a guy like that on a really cheap deal. Speaking of Reed, I thought he was really good last year. He seems to have a good rapport with Jordan Love. He seems to be really undervalued this season, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I haven't heard much about him at all.
Like, is it the rookie Matt Golden that's the highest Packers? Like, somebody on the Packers has to catch the ball. You can get Jaden Reed almost for free in like a regular 12-team league. I like Matt Golden, but I mean, he is a rookie. Reed already has a connection with Jordan Love. It is kind of funny to me. Now, maybe it's just a big Josh Jacobs offense, which I totally get, but it is kind of funny that there's not one right. Like, let's see here. Let me see.
We just put up Packers depth chart. I'm pretty sure he's going to come up as WR1, right?
Yeah, he would. And I'm just looking at, I'm bringing up the Fantasy Pros wide receiver rankings, because like I don't think there's a Green Bay wide receiver in like the top 40 here. So the first, that's regular. Let me find wide receivers here. I've drafted Matt Golden, but late in drafts. Like, the highest Green Bay receiver right now. Am I missing him? Okay, so the highest Green Bay receiver right now is Matt Golden, the rookie, at 46. And then you've got Jaden Reed at 49. Like, there's no Green Bay receiver going in the top 40. So one of those two guys, if not both of those two guys, could end up being some pretty good draft value. Jordan Love's going to throw the ball rather regularly. Like, I don't think it'll be, oh my God, all the Packers do is run the ball, unless I'm missing it. But there's no alpha there. So, I mean, it's a pretty juicy spot if you can get one of those two guys late.
Well, I mean, listen, the golden pick is one of those ones where, hey, maybe he turns into be, a Justin Jefferson type and he's a stud. And if you have him, great. And especially if you're in some sort of a keeper league. But I mean, if you're in some sort of a redraft league, mean, getting Jaden Reed in the 9th, 10th round as a number 1 wide receiver for a team with at least an average quarterback in Jordan Love, to me seems a steal. Like, and I know they've got a Q beside him, which is maybe going to freak some people out. But it does seem like he's going to be number 1. You got Golden as the number 2 guy. Dobbs is going to be in 3 wide receiver sets. And both of those guys are going to get plenty of opportunity right off the bat. But it was surprising to me because Reed, if you've had him on your team the last couple of years, like when he's been in, he's seen a ton of balls from Jordan Love. Great opportunity, has been impactful. I kind of think people are sleeping on him a little bit. Although overall, the Packers are a team that I think people are pretty meh on. If I don't know whether you're getting that same thing. I mean, obviously Josh Jacobs is going to be a guy, but it doesn't seem like there's high expectations for the Packers to be that team. It just sounds like they're going to be a middle of the road NFC North team that has a chance of maybe making the wild card. But when we're talking about who's going to win the division, it seems like people are talking Detroit. And even though the Packers have a shorter number than Minnesota's the team that if J.J. McCarthy hits, he could be going. By the way, speaking of Minnesota, you see the trade?
Yeah, I did see the trade. Actually,
Adam
I have that on
Thielen.
I have that on my list of things to discuss here as we just stick with NFL to start. Well, I think there's a couple of interesting ways to look at this. So let's just start from the Vikings point of view. Jordan Addison's 3 games? He's out 3 games. Addison's draft position was already dropping because of the suspension, but now you mix in Thielen, and then when he comes back, it's kind of a 3-headed monster. Now Thielen's past his prime, don't get me wrong. But I think that definitely hurts Jordan Addison, like big time. And nothing's going to hurt Justin Jefferson. Jefferson's a bloody stud. But if anybody was drafting Jordan Addison maybe a little bit later than you thought and going, oh, you know what, when he returns, this is pretty good value. Well, now that's kind of been hampered a little bit, hasn't it?
Big winner with today's trade, J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, I was going to say Ted McMillan. I'll talk about him in a second.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, sir.
I was going to say J.J. McCarthy's the real winner in Minnesota. Like that's another veteran receiver. That's great.
I mean, when healthy, you'll have Justin Jefferson that's always going to get double covered. You'll have Addison, who's a very legit WR2. And then if you've got TJ Hawkinson and Adam Thielen in the slot as your secondary receivers, I mean, if he is anything like what the Vikings thought they were getting when they drafted on him and the offseason decisions that they made, telling you right now, the Vikings are live in that division and will be really good because they have a top 5 defense, in my opinion. They have all the other pieces. There's just a lot of questions when you got a quarterback that has never thrown passes at the NFL level, but the guy's won everywhere he's been. He's had the extra year to prepare and work with KOC ready for this. I'll be honest. I think that this and Thielen is loved in Minnesota. He's from the area. I mean, it's kind of a neat way for him to sort of come full circle. But I love this pickup for Minnesota. I love it for fantasy purposes for J.J. McCarthy. And on the other side of things, to your point, yeah, I mean, clearing out the spot for Ted McMillan to get 1 million targets each and every game with the Carolina Panthers from Bryce Young.
I instantly thought about this on a couple of different fronts for the Ted McMillan cat. You know, coming in as a rookie, you might want to limit some expectations, but the reports from camp have been that he's absolutely outstanding and ready to sort of be a big dog for Bryce Young. Now they move out Thielen. I went and looked, and the amount of player props that play Alberta right now in the NFL is insane. I mean, I want to spend some time and dive into. You can bet the exact number of wins a team will have in the first 5 weeks, which is kind of fun. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. They've got some that I've never seen before. So it just, the list goes on and on. I haven't had time to kind of get to all of it, but I did look up Ted McMillan because of this trade. And Huss, I mean, I know he's a rookie and I know their offense hasn't been great, but you said it, man, a ton of targets. His total right now is at 825 yards. Like, don't you think that's an over? That seems like a definite over to me, man.
I'm buying Bryce Young for this year.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a 2 QB league, like a super flex league, I would roll with Bryce Young as my number 2 guy.
Yeah, no,
for
I'm
sure.
Totally fine with that too.
And here's, it was funny. I was thinking about this. I ended up picking up Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, I love Ridley too.
And Tony Pollard. I thought Tony Pollard was really kind of undervalued for being sort of a bell cow. And I'm like thinking about these guys. Well, Tennessee, are they going to be very good? Well, even if they're not, guess what? Garbage time counts. And with a rookie quarterback in Cam Ward, I mean, they're going to let him make mistakes. They're going to be rolling out there. The bottom line is I think those guys are going to be given plenty of opportunity to get balls, to make plays. And, while I don't think Cam Ward will maybe fall off a cliff the way Bryce Young did before he sort of resuscitated his career at the second half of the season, there could be some growing pains early on. I do think that Tennessee team is maybe slept on a little bit, considering where they finished and where they picked. And Ridley and Pollard, I think, are both going to be really effective fantasy players this year. So we really got into, I've done this on a few shows. The teams from last year that sucked, like the worst to first teams, like are you on any team for a big turnaround as it pertains? Because it seems like every year there's a team that goes from fourth to first, or at least out of the playoffs to in the playoffs. There's always turnover.
You know what? There is, but I can never pick the team. You know what I mean? Like it's tough. You look at the standings, and as you're doing your previews every single year, you're like, okay, well, that team's pretty good. They're probably going to be there. And then, this team's not going to take a step ahead this year. And then, you look back and you're like, oh, there's two teams that I thought were going to be absolutely awful who made the playoffs this year. So it's a good question. Let me see here.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Could the Titans be the Texans 2 years ago? Like CJ Stroud came in. Yeah. Everyone thought that they were going to be a bottom 5 team in the league. He has a great year, and they win a really weak division. Like Tennessee's 8-1 right now to win that division. I'm not saying that they're going to, but when you consider the odds and the teams that they have to beat,
it's not a juggernaut of a division. Daniel Jones is starting in Indy. The Jags just changed out their coaching staff. I think actually, no, Jacksonville were a 4-win team last year. I still believe in the investment.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. So, I could see them winning that division, and they were 4-13 last year. So maybe that would be my answer to the question. The other ones, like, how high are we talking here, Huss? Like, you're saying from worst to first?
Well, every year it seems that there's a team that finishes last and then does basically we're talking about
of the teams you're talking about, buddy, you're probably right with the best chance to do it might be the Titans, because the other ones would have to go, like New England would have to usurp the Bills. Raiders would have to get past 3 pretty damn good teams ahead of them, obviously. Yeah. The Browns aren't going to finish first in the division that has the Ravens in it. The Giants aren't going to finish first in the division with the Eagles and the Commanders. The Niners were last year. That could be a worst to first play. Cardinals.
Well,
Seahawks,
listen, yeah, and they're the favorite cheating, right now in the division.
Yeah, that's cheating.
It's a little different just because of how bad they were. I'm certainly not hooking my wagon to the Saints.
No, you're not doing that. They're trying to not win.
Well, the Saints and usually they'll have these up as we get closer, but there's win totals on everyone. I always love betting who will get the number 1 pick in the draft, like who will be the worst team. And I haven't seen odds on that yet, but I'm pretty sure, or I would assume that when those odds come out, the Saints will be the favorite to have the worst record. And the funny thing is, I know they've said that Arch Manning is not coming out next year. Archie Manning himself has said that. I do wonder if that would change if the Saints had the number 1 pick. Like, I think, the Manning legacy going back to Archie Manning, the family being from New Orleans, where the team is right now, you would have to think if they do like you just can't count on that happening year after year. And next year, who knows what will be the case. So, Arch is going to be slinging it for Texas. I think they've got Ohio State this week or in the first week of the season, which is actually going to be a hell of a football game.
Yeah. It's this Saturday. It's this Saturday.
I do wonder if that plan for Arch to spend 2 years at Texas would change if the Saints get the number 1 pick. That being said, when I see markets on who will get the number 1 pick, the Saints will be the pick.
All right, a couple of things to continue with on the NFL here. I just want to circle back around to Carolina for a second because looking at Ted McMillan at 825 yards, you like the Bryce Young bounce back season, or almost a breakout season essentially. The other targets for him are Xavier Legette, who was a first rounder last year, Jalen Coker, and even at tight end, they're rolling like Tommy Trimble. Like if McMillan is at all decent, he could be a top 7 or 8 guy in the league in targets. What he does with them, we'll see what happens. But I mean, the over 825, I don't see how he doesn't get it unless he gets hurt, which always I'm
fully in on this, especially after the Thielen trade. I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised that they traded Thielen. And who was behind McMillan on that depth chart now, you just said?
Legette and then Jalen Coker.
Legette, have you ever heard him talk?
Oh, I did last year one time because it's hilarious, isn't it?
The greatest accent. He is from, when we say that he's from the South, he is like backwoods. I heard an interview about, they were asking him about catching, cooking, and eating raccoons. Just to give you an idea about how backwoods this guy is. But his drawl is all time. I could listen to him. You need subtitles because you're not exactly sure exactly what he's saying. But man, is he fun. And I mean, that's good for him because he was a first-round pick as well. I mean, I guess they're going to give those guys the chance to fly. But let's face it, this is going to be Chuba Hubbard, and it's going to be Ted McMillan. So I am definitely high on him. And as they say, even if they're down in games, like Canales did such a good job of resuscitating Bryce Young last year. I think they know that they've got a lot of room to move up. They are in a pretty weak division. They're going to play some games where even if they're trailing, they'll continue to throw it. They're going to continue to try to develop Bryce Young. So that's going to mean a ton of opportunity for McMillan, who comes in as the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, it's going to be something to follow for sure. Okay, let's get to a couple of messages here on the chat. Maddie at the Garrison is questioning, guys, I'm in one Fantrax fantasy league right now. Should I join another? I've never been in more than one fantasy league at a time. Now, I mean, this is a tough question to ask us. Guys.
There are pros and cons. There's definitely pros and cons.
Go ahead. Pros and cons it for us.
I mean, once you get a little too extended in multiple leagues, it does take the focus away from one team for sure, and that can be problematic. It also changes the Sundays a little bit because pretty much in every case, now if you're in 2 leagues, you can handle that, I think. I would do that, especially if they're different formats. One's a redraft, maybe one's a keeper or something like that. Like that's kind of a neat way to play it, where you really are kind of looking at your teams differently because of what's possible and the way you manage them. Once you get into 4, 5, 6 plus leagues, every single time a guy scores, it helps you and it hurts you. So my strategy now that I am already overextended and don't want to bail in any of these leagues is I really sort of focus on a few guys that I really, really like. And whether it's auction or whether it's draft, I try to get them. It doesn't always work out. I mean, if you're in 7 or 8 leagues, but I mean, if you can have a guy on half your teams, I mean, he really becomes a bell cow for you overall in your extended fantasy organization. But I mean, if you've always loved, and if you're in a really active league and you've got a team and it works well, I mean, you don't have to do it. But as I said, it is nice to sometimes play with some other players, as well as maybe get into a different format. So if you're just going from 1 to 2, I think you can handle it. You'll probably enjoy it and it won't change things too much. It's just that when you do that for 10 years and every year you're adding another league, you can end up like Dustin Nielson, who needs to book off 3 hours to set lineups every week.
I have dropped from 19 leagues down to 11 leagues. Now I'm in about 8 leagues 3 of which I take super seriously. And let me ask you this, Huz, because I have an interesting dilemma that when you're in all these leagues, you will sometimes face. So in the Spite League, I have Jaden Daniels at quarterback.
Yep.
In the Juan Rincon Football League, I have Jaden Daniels at quarterback. In the upcoming Big Boy Draft next Tuesday, I have the 3rd overall pick in a Superflex League, which is right where Jaden Daniels goes. So do I just load up on Jaden Daniels in my 3 biggest money leagues, or do I spread it around a little bit and take a Jalen Hurts or a Joe Burrow or something else? Like, I hadn't even thought about it. We were just talking about this.
Complete redraft?
The Superflex is a complete redraft league.
So assuming that Lamar and Josh Allen
I'm
go with
assuming
the first
Lamar,
2 picks?
yeah, I think they probably go. I mean, if they don't go 1-2, I'll take whoever's left at 3.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming they go 1-2, and then I'm just rating Jaden Daniels' wheelhouse again. And then if that's the case, I got him in all my leagues. But if he gets hurt, I'm screwed in all 3 of my leagues.
Yes, that is true. I guess listen, in this particular scenario, maybe you do consider Hurts. Like, the one thing about Jalen Hurts is that he is the number 1 most consistent player in fantasy football. I mean,
Yeah.
until somebody figures out how to stop the tush push, they tried to ban it. It didn't work. I mean, he's basically getting 1 rushing touchdown a game. And then he rushes for probably 30, 40, 50, 60 yards as well. The consistency of Hurts scoring and rushing points is so that his floor is way higher than anybody else.
That is true. That's a safe floor.
It is. He is the safest pick in fantasy football and the most consistent player in fantasy football. So I could see it. If you did not want to be just so exposed and so all in on Jaden Daniels to switch that up, you could do it. But at the same time, I mean, if you like a guy and he's your guy, I mean, he's your listen, you'll turn into Commanders guy. You'll be watching every one of those games because that is where it's at. So listen, I don't think you can go wrong in Daniels over Hurts. If you do want to sort of hedge a disaster where you nukes to your 3 biggest teams, go for Hurts. But otherwise, I mean, there's a lot of guys that would love to have Jaden Daniels as their quarterback in their top 3 teams.
I was low-key Commanders guy last year, too, until the playoffs, obviously. Anyway, Jaden Daniels, 675.5 rush yards. Over under.
What did he have last year?
I think he was over 800 last year, wasn't he? Let me see. I'm pretty sure he was over 800.
I mean, I'll take the over. That's what I mean. 800 is just under 50 yards a game.
Yeah.
He'll have some big games. And here's the other thing. I mean, you've got Eckler and that, was that 7th round pick, Krosky Merritt?
Yeah. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt.
Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who people are spending some big money on in auctions.
Yeah, he had 891 rush yards last year, almost 900 as a rookie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if he plays the 17 games, he's getting that. He's such a good improviser when guys aren't open. Like, he probably runs for 3 first downs a game. Like, routinely. So, yeah, I'm in on the over. I'm in on the over Jaden Daniels. Maybe I'll put that together for my final list of futures for
the big list.
the year. But the 2 ones that we talked about today, the Jaden Daniels over and the Tet McMillan. I mean, I'm in on both of those
together. Yeah, let's just put that. I'll just throw that over right now. We'll get that little boosted and locked up here. Hey, what about Rashee Rice? 6 games. Thoughts on that?
Well, listen, for fantasy owners, it sucks. I thought that from a Chiefs perspective, originally they said that this was going to be adjudicated on September 30th, which meant he would have been able to play the first 3 games, and first 4 games, and there's some big boy games there. The game against Philly, the opener against the Chargers. But getting it done and getting him back in, week 7, for fantasy purposes, you're going to be able to get him a lot later than you should. And the key is you're just going to have to think of it as a 6-week injury that has a clear, defined return date. and get out with him beforehand. I think he will have a monster season when he's there. Like Mahomes looks so good right now. Andy Reid sort of recommitted to the passing game of the Chiefs. They now have sort of the playmakers that they were missing the last couple of years. Worthy's got another year in the offense. So I'm really high on Rashee Rice when he plays. And from a fantasy perspective, from a football perspective, it's going to be a hit to the Chiefs to get through the tough first 6 games without him. But when it counts later on in the season, assuming he's there, be huge for Mahomes. And I think he'll be a very, very startable player starting week 7 and throughout the remainder of the regular season. They just got to get through with it. And if you have him on your team, you just have to get through and, manage to grind out some wins for the first 6 weeks until a clear top 2 option on most fantasy teams is back in the lineup.
All right. So one more time. Look, if you're going to place a bunch of futures before the season begins, set some time apart so that you can go in, sit down, look through all the options and find the best ones. I just sent this McMillan Daniels one over. We'll get a little boost on it, and the boys will throw it up for us. They said they're going to check to see if they can put those 2 together. So we should have that pop up over there as well. Huss, let's go to the Blue Jays here for a second. The props that we needed had already cashed on both of the parlays, my early bird bet and the one that we had, because we were Bo Bichette over 1.5 bases. Vladdy RBI, Blue Jays money line. We had Kirk hit and Blue Jays money line, and those all cashed like 4 innings in. And I jinxed it. I put out a tweet. I was just like, as long as they wrap this one up, we're cashing all the bets tonight. So my bad. I shouldn't have done that. I should know but still, Hoffman's a bum, isn't he? Like, how can you not be concerned about Hoffman right now?
Yeah, I heard Schneider talking after the game, saying, you know what? Listen, this is it's a tough spot. I mean, he some of their relievers are just sort of not feeling it right now, and just got to get through this period of time. I mean, they've had a really good season. I mean, they've had good options. I've never been entirely fully trusting of Hoffman, to be honest, in the pen, at least as the closer. I kind of thought when Louis Varland came in, the way he started, he would be the guy, but he's given up runs in his last 4 outings. I mean, Sir Anthony Dominguez is there. You got Yariel Rodriguez, who I think would be a good option for them. So, I mean, I think they'll figure this out. We'll see where things are at this weekend, because this Brewers team has been unbelievable all season long. I mean, hopefully the Jays can figure out a way to get a win this afternoon and win this one running away. I have a feeling that they will. I think I'm going to hit them on the run line at just a little bit over plus money. But when Milwaukee comes in, assuming that these games are close, these are going to be really high leverage bullpen, assignments. I have a feeling Hoffman might get a day or 2 off. So we will see some other guys, I think, if they're in save situations, maybe get a chance to go in there and do it. And at that point, if someone can jump on the bottom line is they all need to be better. Like, it's not just one guy's been killing them. I mean, the bullpen in the last week or so has been a little shaky. Either that or just have the Beavers of the world go 8 2/3 and then
just
have someone come in and mop it up after.
Don't worry about it. Jays are going to be great in the playoffs if all the guys can go complete games. I think that would be good. So what we did today was I was like, you know what? I was going to fade them, and then I was like, faith in the team to have a bounce back, and if they bounce back, I think they bounce back in a big way. So we put Jays on the run line and to score first, and we got it up to plus 222. So people can find that over on the specials page as well. So Huss, I am not around for the next 2 days, so we should probably dive into. Yeah.
Just quickly, just before on the Jays last night. So we were mentioning what it is. So I bet the Bo over 1.5 bases.
Yeah.
I bet the Vladdy RBI. And both of those came in like right away. And then the other thing that I bet, and I've done this twice in the last week, once on Saturday, once yesterday, the Springer home run prop. And that one came in too. So the only bet that I missed yesterday was the one that had the Jays to win the game. But other than that, those props came in. So I'm kind of focusing in on those Joe's props. I'll probably go back to the well as well for this one. Oh, good. This is a late game tonight. I thought maybe this would be an afternoon game on getaway day, but no, it's not. So we'll have plenty of time to get in on this for the Jays tonight. But I love the Jays on the run line. I think this is going to be a big makeup game for the way things fell apart last night for Toronto. So looking at plus money on -1.5 for Toronto tonight. I think this tonight feels like a no doubter.
Yeah, that's what I said this morning as well. So go find that over on the MLB page. It's on our EST specials page if you want that. Jays to win by 2+ runs and to score first. And the grandest parlay is up there now. That's from the DGen Den. Red Sox -1.5. Bellucci Alcaraz under 30.5 games. Texas Rangers to win. And then George Springer over 0.5 runs. That's at +895 right now. You can find that on the EST specials page as well. Bombers Riders is down to 5, Huss. Thoughts on
really?
Yeah. What do you think about that? I was kind of a little bit surprised. I'm trying to think where it's a decent amount of movement. I'm trying to think where that came from. What's been happening in this game?
Me too. And, I mean, by the way, new CFL 110 is out for you CFL heads.
Beautiful.
Who want to check that out. That's up over on the Winnipeg Sports Talk YouTube channel with myself and Jeff Hamilton. Listen, I'm a Bomber guy. We're going to the game. We got a couple buses going. It's going to be a great weekend. Maybe this is just the PTSD of a long run of getting our asses kicked in Regina that has changed over the past 5 or 6 years, but you still remember how things can go. I do think if you're looking at a pie chart probability of this game, there's a pretty big chunk that is that's like a big resounding Rider win. Like a Rider win of 14 to 20 points. I mean, sometimes these games just can really get away on you. And I think the Riders are going to be really focused. I mean, part of me was hoping that they would win last week and be 9-1 and feel all great about themselves and maybe start reading their press clippings a little bit more. I don't think that's going to happen. Well, I know it's not going to happen now. I mean, I think they're going to add a bit of a reality check against Calgary, and they'll be very, very focused. Did you hear the crowd for the game? It's going to be the biggest crowd in the history of Mosaic Stadium. They've sold like another 2,000 standing room tickets. It's over 34,000. 34K for the game.
I'm doing this game. That's going to be amazing.
It's going to be a crazy. I mean, you've been there before. You know what that's going to be like. So it's going to be awesome. But listen, on the Winnipeg side of things, I think the defense, to me, like, can this be a close game? Can the Bombers win? It's really going to ride on that defense. I mean, Calgary did such an amazing job against Sask in the second half, shutting them out. That's going to be a really tall test for Winnipeg. So, I mean, listen, a couple turnovers could change a game. I mean, all of those things, but
we lost him. You said a couple turnovers could change the game, but
it's just going down.
Back. Sorry, House. We lost you for 1 second.
Oh, okay. I was just saying there is a chance that the Riders have a couple big plays, and it just feels like we have seen some absolute thrashings in these games. We're both Banjo Bowl and Labor Day Classic. I'm hoping it'll be close. But as I say, there is definitely a possibility that this game is a runaway. I can't see the Bombers running away with it. I think if the Bombers win this game, it's going to be tight and it'll be close. I'm tempted just on heart to just say, let's get a good game and I'll take the points in the Bombers. But removed from it, gun to my head, like with my entire stack, you're putting it on one side or the other. I think it probably is a little more likely the Saskatchewan wins, by a cover. I won't be personally betting it, but I do have this is a really tough spot for Winnipeg to come in. I mean, against an angry Saskatchewan team that has been so good all year. But you know what? We said this last year when the Bombers were 2-6 and I guess 4-6 coming in. They found a way to win that game 35-33, and then they won the Banjo Bowl and they never looked back and they ended up winning the West. So I will put the homer hat on and tag the Bombers at +5.5, but I totally understand why people might be jumping on the Sask side of things.
Hey, I want to get to Matt Cause's quarterback rankings heading into Labor Day weekend in a second, but let's do a 6-point teaser on the totals that we can get up and can remain for the week. So Bombers, Riders, 51.5. So it's 57.5 in the under or 45.5 in the over.
45.5. I think the over 45.5.
Yeah. Okay.
What about
I mean, 57.5 would be like a 30-27 game would still be under.
Put it this way. I mean, I think either one of those is going to win. Like, I think
you like the window. Yeah.
Like our 12-point window. I mean, if you had a strong feeling on the other side, I would go with that. I think that we're going to get some points though in this game. I mean, Winnipeg is going to have to score, I think, to keep pace with Saskatchewan. I'm pretty sure Saskatchewan's going to be putting up in the 20s minimum.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably right in that. Will be good either way on that one. So, yeah, we can go. I mean, 45.5 is a pretty low number in the Canadian Football League. What would we need? We need 26-20 to cover. So, yeah. Okay, I like that one. Ticats Argos is easy. We're moving that down to 51 from 57, and we're taking the over.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that goes to 51, and we're on the over. And then the Elks and Stamps is sitting at 51.5. This is an interesting one to me, actually. This is probably the most difficult one of the week. Stamps defense has been outstanding. Elks are going to be going into this game without Stephen Dunbar. We could move it up to 57.5 or over 45.5.
Jeez, I think my first inclination would to take under 57.
Yeah, that's my initial thought. But is there a but here?
But I mean, just there's always the possibility in one of these games that it gets run on one team just ends up scoring like 8 points.
Yeah,
you know, and if you and that's why I'm kind of thinking that so if it's up to 57,
yeah.
I mean, Calgary has been good. VA's been good. He's up for a big performance, but I don't know. I have a hard time thinking this is going to get to 60.
I don't see it getting to 60. It's to me, it's the under 57.5 is the play here.
Okay.
And if it gets to be, yeah, I mean, I'm doing this game. I hope it's 40-40 going into overtime. But yeah, I think it's the under there. And so we would go over in the Riders Bombers, we'd go over in the Ticats Argos, and we'd go under in the Elks and Stampeders game. Yeah, I think that's probably fair. All right, we'll get that put together there.
Do you have a line movement? I'm seeing 7.5 in this Calgary Edmonton game. What do you have right now?
7.5. Yeah, it's at 7.5 now too. I think it's kind of settling in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's kind of settled in at 7.5. It was at 7. It was up to 8.5. It was briefly, I saw earlier this week, at 6.5 for a little bit, but I think 7.5 is a fair number. I mean, I think 7.5 is probably where that number should be.
I feel like I want to take the underdogs in all three of these games with the points.
We did that earlier in the week on Monday's morning show. We took them all just with the points.
And I just have a feeling like two of them are really close games, and then one of these games is the home team is just going to get on a bit of a run and lose. And the question is, which one will those be? But hey, the CFL, we know how good the games have been this year and how tight they've been. Why not put another great show on Labor Day for everybody with 3 tight ones where the road dogs all cover the number.
What's coming up on WST today, buddy?
Well, we are going to be talking to Stephen Brunt. I'm really looking forward to that. That was
great conversation. Like the guy, I mean, he's done it all. He's a CFL Media Hall of Famer. He's got like 7 books. He's been on the radio. He's done TV. Like he was awesome today. I'm glad you got him. I'm glad you took advantage.
Well, yeah, because he's got this docuseries coming up on the Ticats and Labor Day and all that. But I'm also really interested in his thoughts on just where the Canadian Football League is right now, especially in Southern Ontario, as it's been such a conversation over the course of this year.
Well, we didn't dive into just that, but I asked him, I said, what's the best rivalry? Because this is rivalry week, right? Like, what's the best rivalry in the Canadian Football League? And he said the Ticats and the Ticats fans are still all in on Toronto Hamilton. He goes, but it's tough to be a great rivalry when it's not being returned from the Argo fan side of things. And he goes, that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. He goes, Toronto fans used to just flock to that game. And now, it should be well attended this week. But he did say the Riders and the Bombers. I mean,
yeah,
that would be number one on my list too. Like, I think it's pretty clear, but he did talk about, the Argos and their struggles with fan numbers. There's hardcore Argos fans. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But the numbers just haven't really been there.
So yeah, we're going to do that. Ed Tate's going to join us with the latest from Bomber practice. And then Feinberg's coming on. I had to get him on. His guy Tommy Fleetwood finally winning. Pumped about that. Yes. But we got to talk about the Ryder Cup. How about that? Keegan leaving himself off the team. The ultimate act of selflessness.
Oh man, I thought I saw last night. I thought I saw that he was playing.
No.
Wow.
They put this out. If you missed this, so Keegan has announced the team. He did not pick himself. Kyle Hamilton got a 4-year extension. Nicely done for him. So here are like the guys that were on the team already.
Yeah.
Were Scotty Scheffler, Xander, JJ Spawn, Russell Henley, Harris English, and Bryson DeChambeau. They were the qualifiers. And then he opted not to take himself despite being within that next 6 and went for Justin Thomas, Morikawa. I was a little surprised. His form has been garbage over the last little while. But apparently the ball striking's still there, so whatever. Ben Griffin absolutely deserved to be on the team. And then he added Cam Young, Pat Cantlay, and Sam Burns. Burns, I thought, was a great pick for them. I mean, he is up. He can crush the ball off the tee and is the best putter. And in match play, putting means so much. But I'll feel bad if Keegan does not get to play like he. I mean, what are the chances he makes the team 2 years from now? Like, I'm not sure. But a pretty selfless act by Bradley. So, anyways, we're gonna get to that in, and being a big Charger guy, I'm gonna get the O'Marion Hampton pulse for fantasy drafters. I mean, should we be as high on this guy as many people are right now, and will it pay off in fantasy season? So yeah, all that's coming up on WST in about 10 minutes.
Excellent. That's going to be coming up over on the Winnipeg Sports Talk channel. And that's going to basically do it for the Lock Shop today here as well. We've got to get out. There goes Huss. He will be, I think it's Matty the next couple of days with him on the Lock Shop. And then obviously I'll be back as well. We're going to get the oil stream going live right away. We're at Summit location, St. Albert Boston Pizza. Pop by the Summit location if you're here for lunch today. We've got that summer menu on the go at BP's right now. It's absolutely delicious. So yeah, if you're out for the noon hour, swing on by here. We're going to dive into some of this Oilers Connor McDavid contract discussion, get into that whipping boy bracket as well. You'll find all of our EST specials on our EST specials page over at Play Alberta. And I threw a couple more for them to get up as well. Blue Jays to win by 2 runs or more to score first plus 222. The grandest is up at almost 9-1, and we'll be adding a couple of CFL parlays as well, plus that NFL futures parlay that we can get locked in as well. All right, the oil stream is on the way next. Of course, oil stream presented to you by Boston Pizza, and we're at the Summit location in St. Albert today. If you want to pop by for lunch, Tommy Gazzola will join me next here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Thank you very much for joining us in the Lock Shop today. Best of luck if you're riding with us tonight, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.